This is my bee box. It's kind of empty, but I'd highly recommend, if you can, to get one of these metal containers. You can get them on the internet. They were very kind enough to drop this off, and I just asked the local rugby club if I can store the container here, and they let me do that for free. But it's really important that you have a really strong, good metal container, because all of the bee boxes, frames, everything that I've got to use to replace, that I buy throughout the years, stored here, and then I come and get it. I have a couple containers. So today I am going to take these frames that are already drawn. We're going to have to put those out. These two stacks here, these are brand new and have undrawn comb inside. And this stack here is also undrawn, and from time to time I like to replace the floors of my hive. So these floors have to be replaced this year, and everything is on a dolly, so it's really useful. If you are going to get a container, get one of these wheeled dollies, so you could just move things around, a bit like Tetris. Try not to put it directly on the floor. It's just a pain in the butt when you have to move things around. And it does get warm in here. It gets very, very warm, which is good, because some of those old hives at the back there, they've been drying out now, and they're perfectly good for this year. But if you do put anything in here that's got honey in it or pollen, then you will get wax moth and you will get wasps. So only put in these bee boxes dry frames that don't have any honey in it and have no pollen in it. If they have honey or pollen, I'd highly recommend that you either extract completely, or if they're brood frames, then store those frames in an airtight container. I've used these containers before just for that purpose, so that nothing can actually get inside, like wax moth or mice. But this is my bee box, and I'd highly recommend that if you are considering doing beekeeping at scale, that you arrange one of these. This one has a connector on the outside, and I can connect that up to my little generator. So these lights do work, and when I'm building frames over the winter, I can actually turn these little heaters on. So we have these little electric heaters in here, add a bit of heat whilst I'm working away. and everything is just controlled through light switches. So I'd highly recommend that. I used to do everything at home in the garage, but as soon as the bees smell anything like this on a summer's day, it's really not convenient for you or your neighbors to have those bees around. So I'm going to take these stacks, load them onto the truck, and I'll come back to you. Alright, so we've got 20 boxes empty to go on today. I'll make a couple of trips. These are standard national supers, and I have some that have just got Premier wax in both plastic and wooden frames, and then I also have black plastic with my own bees wax. I've tried to put as much wax on as possible so that they draw it real nice. This will typically be for extraction, and these ones will be for cut comb. So there's no wire in any of this, and we can cut these out into nice big squares, or actually, if you want to, you can cut them into threes and create what we call fingers, and that can go in the jar, or you can actually just cut it into triangles and sell it by weight. It's totally up to you. But a lot of our customers like the cut comb because it's not touched by us at all. It's simply cut out, put into a container, and you keep all the nutrients. So these are the new supers I'm using this year, trying for the first time. These are by a Bellow. They're all molded, and they're nice and light. They also have the handy hole here so that you can take this out when there's a flow on, and the bees will go in and out of here rather than through the entrance of the brood box. I think that might make it a bit more convenient for them. Obviously I'm going to keep in the wooden ones. Now when you're strapping these, this is a Ford Ranger, so in theory I can put 4 high, and it doesn't come above the sides or the back. Since I've got one more, I'm going to have a strap over each of these stacks, and typically I won't go any more than 5 high. I could probably get one more, which is about as high as the roof, but I tend to have enough hives in one apiary that this stack does 1 or 2 supers each hive each visit, and that's typically enough to do in one stop. So we're going to put the straps on, and I'll come back, and then we'll head over to the bees. Okay, now here we are. Just one piece of advice: once you've stacked your boxes, after you leave, you're going to find that these will move around a little bit because you can't exactly stack them perfectly. So just give it a good shake, and before you leave, after you've done that, go and re-tighten this, because if those do move even half an inch, these will become loose, and if you go around the corner they can go flying off. Probably not when they're as light as they are at the moment, but if you've got honey in them, I would highly recommend you follow the advice. Now I've tried to put these supers right up against the edge so that when this gets closed, there's literally just, well, there's actually there's actually nothing. These are actually touching the here, so when I do accelerate, it's not going to push back and get these. I didn't actually bring 3 straps. I usually put 1 strap over this way and then 1 strap diagonally. Don't have one, so I've just got this bungee cord. So one more thing about the box: try to make sure that it has a lock, because from time to time you'll find somebody will have a little look, and if it's made of metal, it's a lot easier to protect against mice and rats, etc. So I'd highly recommend, if you're thinking about doing beekeeping and you maybe want 8 or 10 hives, yeah, invest in one of these boxes. They're not as expensive as you think, and as long as you're not looking for a brand new one, you can probably find them for maybe £1,000 delivered. This one is about 20 feet by 8 feet. They do come in much larger. This is perfect for this site. Looks like someone has to come and cut the grass. One thing to note, don't cut the grass on the day you're doing your inspections. So if you've seen my old videos, you'll know that I've changed the configuration a little bit here. We now have 3 sets of pallets in this configuration, which allows me to have 12 hives stacked, and then there's 2 at the back. That's interesting. Do you see? The orange hive has bees underneath. That's interesting. Let's go take a look. You might have noticed as we came in, there is animals in the field. Really important to lock any gates. You think, you know what? They're not gonna get in. I can tell you they will. That also means you need to keep an eye on these. Just need to make sure that they don't come near the truck. So, what can I see here? Can I see down there? What does that look like to you? Bees under the hive. Now it has been a week since my last inspection. So are they just looking for space? Or did they swarm? Because the queen's wings are clipped, they weren't able to go anywhere. It's very busy. I think I need to cut the grass. This one. Empty. Could that be a swarm? Looks very small, doesn't it? I'll have to take a look. Tell you what we'll do. We will get the smoker lit and come back. So I've just opened this one up. I've taken the roof off, and I can see that the bees are all the way up here. And if we look, we are storing nectar in the top box. There are 3 boxes here. So, and these were last week undrawn frames, so they're just wax. And so they've drawn that, and they're up here. Not on a huge number of frames, like 1, 2, 3, 4, about maybe 4. So potentially they haven't swarmed, they're just, I don't know. Let's keep going. Alright, next box down. It's full. Bees all the way across. And these manly frames are actually so thick that they're probably 3 inches wide. This is what I like about these manly sizes, is that you can actually just make it a bit wider, and they'll actually just make the comb wider. Really nice for cut comb. And you can see that these ones here as well are full. So interesting. Let's keep going. Okay, first this is the box number 1, and as you can see, it's capped all the way across. So these guys will need another box for sure. So I already have one of the new boxes already, so make a 4th box. And it's only May, so this is actually quite amazing. But there's a lot of bees you can see in this box, so if they have swarmed, I'd be surprised. But let's take a look. Let's keep going. So the easiest way to inspect a hive is from underneath. What I can see is this box is totally full. From one side to the other side, it's completely full. Let's take a look underneath. I think today's inspection is going to be a bit tough. Okay. Box is ram-jammed. You can see just here some unfinished queen cells, and they're on the bottom, meaning that they're swarm cells. So if we take a little look, I can see they're charged. There's quite a lot of bees down here, look. I can see the bees underneath the floor as well. So that's an interesting thing that's happened. It's not the first time, but I can see here more swarm cells not charged. So that one was charged. Let's have a little look. Come on, bee. That one's charged. What I'll do is just take this off, like so. We'll recycle that. So this will require an inspection, and I'm kind of interested about this floor. So what I'm actually going to do first, if you've ever faced this issue before, is you have to move, we have to check underneath, because if that's a queen that has tried to swarm, because the wings are clipped, she will stay there and it will just upset the pheromones. So I'm going to move the whole box to there. I'll take a look. So do, tip the box forward, pick it up, put it here, and now I can take a look underneath. I wonder if they were just using the floor as a way of getting inside the hive quicker. Instead of going through the entrance, they are coming up through the bottom. Gosh, it's heavy. So, there's my queen. So she did try to swarm. So, a couple of things I can do now is I can put it back on the floor. See, the wings are clipped, so she's not able to fly. So what I can do is I can put her back on the floor, and I can sort out there must be charged queen cells in here. They won't hurt her because she still has got the smell of the hive, but I will have to take care of any swarm cells in here. So before she goes to the side, I'm going to put it back. Hopefully she doesn't try to come out again. That's one of the benefits of clipping the wing. It means the queen isn't able to fly, and you don't lose the bees. If you lose the bees, you lose your honey. So Let's see if we can find out what's happening here. This is one of my first smokers. Has a hole in it, unfortunately, so it doesn't work very well. It's the only one I got to do. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move you behind the hive so you can get a better look. That's better. So in case you didn't know, it's not actually the queen's decision to swarm. It's actually the bees. The bees decide. So I need to be in here quick. Find that cell that is making them swarm and remove it. They won't try to swarm again. With such a busy hive, you have to pick one side or the other. Here you go with the harvest frame and work this way, start here and go this way. My mentor actually said that bees don't really like you going over with your hands, with your arms, so you're kind of stuck if you're inspecting from the side. That's one of the benefits of actually inspecting from behind. But we're just going to go with far side, I think. Slightly less bees on this side. So we put the queen back on the board. I hope that she comes up and I can see her. All we have to do is destroy the cells. One key swarming indicator, I'm not sure if you can see, is there are a lot of drones. A lot of drones. So I can see blue, but lots and lots of drones. And actually the drones are black and brown, like browny golden colour. Always looking at the entrance to see that she's not flying out again. Now, question, is this going to work? Well, maybe. Maybe. I have successfully broken queen cells, and yes, the queen was accepted back and everything was perfect. I've also had it fail. That is one of the most important reasons why you always try to clip one wing if you can. She tries to swarm. She won't get very far. In fact, this is all full of eggs. It's interesting. Eggs. And she tried to swarm. Now, there are two reasons why bees decide to swarm. Sorry, there's two reasons why bees create queen cells. First one is for reproduction. That is to swarm into a new hive, tree, or hole in the ground to divide the hive to new race. The second reason is the queen is failing, and that's called a supersedure. So usually during a supersedure, there was nothing about reproduction. It's just the queen wasn't doing a very good job, or she was coming to the end of her life. Maybe she wasn't producing viable offspring. Too many drones, for example, meaning that she's finished all of the eggs that can turn into viable bees. So they decide to change her, and usually the queen sort of dies in the hive actually. But in this case, they did try to swarm. So that's why it's important to pay very careful attention. Don't just rely on the under hive inspection technique. You have to go into the hive. A swarm cell is at the bottom of the frame. Supersedure is at the top of the frame. Obviously, I can't tell. So I get in. Just stand around these edges. Jump on your fingers when you're trying to get the frame up. Come on. So what you need to do is to look at the top of the frame, the top of that, top. That's where you will find typically your supersedure cell, the bottom. See, she's already back on the frame. Look, they're attending to her. Let's hope this manipulation has worked. Just take a look down here. That. So I like to paint my queens yellow. So okay. So now I've seen the queen, I can go through the next ones a little bit faster. And these bees are actually quite black in color, which means that they are local bees. This area they always appear black, which means they can be a little bit more defensive. But as you saw, we had so much honey. It's one of the reasons why you actually would like to have those bees in your apiary. You don't mind them um, sort of going around your face veil, then I would highly encourage having some of these in an apiary. As long as the apiary isn't anywhere near a house, and I certainly wouldn't have these kind of bees in an allotment. just blow the frame very, very gently. Yeah, I can see there's eggs and day-old larvae, day-old egg, sorry. I can see larvae that's just converting over, eggs that's converting to larvae. Very interesting. It's very warm here. It's 20 degrees. Perhaps they thought they'd get a jump start and swarm this morning, maybe. So warm. The bees always know when you're in a rush. When you try to rush their inspection, they will make you pay for it. It's really super gentle. Trying to sting me, but they don't want me in the hive for sure. So they're not aggressive at all. A couple of things about this hive. I wasn't able to replace the frames as early as I wanted to this year. One of the ways to sort of take strength away from a hive is to replace the frames, replace 3 or 4 frames in spring, brand new frames and foundation. Gives them lots of work to do. In fact, if you see here, there's a lot of drone. This is actually drone comb, if I'm not mistaken. Lots of drone comb all around here at the top. And they produce lots of drones. It means it's a sign that they want to swarm. But I do use drone comb in my hives. I promote drones because I try to promote varroa sensitive hygiene bees. So if I do get a hive that swarms, then the new queen that emerges will perhaps mate with my own drones and pass on the genetics. Here we go. When you see bees like this, you can see that just here. You can see they're clustering. Look, that's a capped cell. I missed it. I can't believe it. That is a capped, and I think that's what probably caused the bees to swarm. So what we can do is, since it's already capped, I'm going to try to cut it around at the base with the hive tool. Super gentle. And if the other hive, which I have just over there, is queenless, then I'll put that queen cell into it. I do think that that is queenless, that one over there. You can't see it, we'll get to it in a minute. That looks like a very nice, very large queen cell. And all you do is you take that queen cell and you just put it on the frame, push it in the same direction, pointing down. A couple of days it will emerge, and I hope it will be accepted. That doesn't mean that's the only one in the hive, so we have to keep going. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the take this, I'm going to put it into my pocket where it's warm. So you can see that. Beautiful. Sometimes if you put it next to your ear, you can hear inside. So I'll just put this in my pocket where it's nice and warm in case I need it. So this is a frame of brood, larvae, stores. I think they swarmed this morning. I got here. That's why you have to look so carefully. These 14 by 12 frames are really big, but if you just rest the frame on one frame, it's very easy to manipulate. So there's, when you are breaking a queen cell like this one, try to take the inside of it as well on the hive tool. If you just break it, they can remake it. But if they don't have a cell, so if they don't have an egg in there, then they can't turn into a queen. Lots of pollen. The dandelion is, there's a field of dandelion, about 20 acres of dandelion across the other farm. This produces such a beautiful smell of honey. Now, what are you going to, now you're going to ask, what about those bees that are under the hive? Well, they'll just come home. When it's a bit dark, when it gets darker, they'll realize the queen's not there, they'll just come home. They still have the hive smell, they'll be accepted, they won't be rejected. And I hope she'll be able to come back to her colony. Eggs everywhere. So she hasn't stopped laying when she swarmed. Usually, when the queen is swarming, they stop feeding her for a couple of days. That stops her from laying. That's so she's nice and light and is able to fly. Pay really close attention to the edges here. There's another one. It's not cat though. Eggs and larvae here. So she has laid in the last 3 days. Of course, you need to have very good notes. This hive has tried to swarm, which means it's getting a red mark from me. That means I need to come back in maybe 3 or 4 days to see if they're rebuilding swarm cells. If they're rebuilding swarm cells, then this potential genetic line is a swarmy genetic line. So there's no reason to swarm if I give them lots of space. But if they try to swarm again, I may have to move the queen away to a new box and let them start a new colony of their own. That's why from time to time I like to use other genetic lines of bees. I introduce queens from other beekeepers. You'll find actually my first genetic line of bees produced so much propolis. The whole hive was propolis, but I found that them to be very hygienic, very little varroa symptoms that I could see. I could see this very low mite drop and also not very much deformed wing, which is caused by the virus. So the more proper is that have you seen that? Put a comment and let me know. More propolis, more hygienic. Okay, still full of eggs larvae. Place the frame down. Now you don't have to hold it. Now you can manipulate it however you want. Look, it's a drone. Thing about drones, they make a lot of noise when they're flying around your face, but they don't have a stinger. You absolutely shouldn't be scared with drones. Beautiful brown black color. Beautiful frame. Actually, I say a beautiful frame. It's a little bit ugly in that it's a bit damaged. It's had a lot of drone in it, and they're making a bit of ugly frame. So I'll probably be replacing quite a lot of this hive's frames when the honey comes off. So one trick I've tried, which I was told by my mentor, is when you take the honey off, typically at the beginning of June, when there's a June gap, there's a natural reduction in nectar and pollen. I remove some of the bad brood as well, and then I feed. The feed that they have feeds the hive, but also allows them to fix up those frames that I've replaced. And then by the time the sugar is finished, the frames are made, I can put the next set of supers on for the summer flow. Okay, last two. Again, a lot of brood in the middle. Stores, drone at follow. Looks like this might have been one of my drone combs. Of course, one thing you can do with drone comb is when the hive has filled the drone comb, you can remove it. Varroa really likes the larger cell, and so if you remove the drone comb and destroy by putting the comb in a freezer, then you can actually knock back the mites significantly. I've never done that. I don't do that. But I'm told that's what some people do. Last one. It's a whole frame of drone. Just hanging around, waiting to find a queen, I guess. Right, so we're done with two. Let's take the frame that I took from this side. Back in over here. This black one is one I want to replace. So I've decided the black frames are going. Going to keep the wooden ones. Going to keep the red ones. The black ones I'm going to use as supers because my extractor can handle 14 by 12. Okay. All right, so done. Can't probably tell that, but I can hear them making a roar. And that roar, I know sometimes occurs when they want to swarm. Just looking why this isn't down. So that roar is typically saying, we want to swarm. But there's no viable queen cells left, so I'm hoping that they're not trying to swarm. Take a look. You're lucky enough. Butts are in the air here. Either they're saying, come back, the queen's in here, or they're saying, well, let's get ready to swarm. Not yet. What do you think? Swarming behavior? I'm hoping not. I'm hoping they're saying the queen is in here. There are no swarm cells left. Come on home. Anyway, let's take another hive. This hive is one that I've transferred from a nuke just last week. The one of the new it is one of the new hives that I made from last year's queen. They look very busy. So let's take a look. Oh my goodness, it's hot. It's heavy. Mm. I need space, and I think two charged swarm cells just there. Cut this away. Get your things on there. Okay, interesting. So this queen is also clipped, meaning the wings are cut a little bit, so she'd be able to fly too far. Let's go inside and have a look. You might have saw there is they've glued this down with the propolis. So to get the roof off, you just have to twist it. But please follow this advice. If you have to do that, by twisting the roof, they will be agitated for sure. So after you twist it, don't take the roof off straight away. Just give it a second for them to relax a little bit. From the top, it's a very busy hive. Very, very, very busy. So again, I put these black frames on the outside because I want to replace them. So there's brood, no eggs yet, lots of wonky comb. So there's brood. One thing I do like about these blacks is that the eggs are so easy to see. What I'm going to do is move you. Better. So this is all honey, nectar. It's actually nectar, it's not honey yet, but they are ripening it. It smells delicious. So they've made some drone come at the bottom, but it's capped and it's being ripened. So larvae, can't see eggs yet. No queen yet either. Was it one of these that were? I think it was one of these. Had the queen cell. Okay, so there's quite a bit of drone comb on this one. Again, classic symptom of swarming behavior. Empty. Okay, so I can see eggs. Eggs and very, 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 very young larvae. So that's good. So, because I've seen an egg, feeling a little bit more confident that they haven't swarmed yet. And I would like to see the queen. This queen is one I bought from Black Mountain Honey. And if she's anything like the queens I got from Lawrence last year, holy moly, I had seven or eight full supers off of a brand new queen last year. Never had anything like it. Started off as a nuke, 2-3 frames, and then she built her hives. She built her hive to give me 7-8 supers of honey. Crazy, crazy good. So these ones weren't sealed. So they're sealed. So, because I've not seen her, I'm just gonna leave those. I just want to feel more confident. So it's the left of the wooden ones. What I do is if they were all wood, I just get my marker and I put a little dot on this one. And any other queen cell I find, I will destroy, knowing that this frame still has the queen on it. Sorry, the queen cell. And then if I do find the queen, I'll go straight back to here and destroy these ones. Actually, I'll cut those ones out in case I need them. Just put them in my pocket. There she is. Can you see the green dot? Beautiful, beautiful queen. I clipped the wing last week, so it's got a tiny bit of a wing clip, which means she can't fly like the other one. But I can now go ahead and safely destroy those queen cells. I'll just cut them out and I'll use them if I need to, which I'll do that right now. So once again, gently remove, using the frame resting on the hive. Just going to cut down around. Damage it? I did. One of them I damaged. Tough doing it with only one hand. Let's see. Did I damage them both? That's the queen cell there. You be. And, damaged it. Darn it. Okay. That's a shame. There's an egg in that one. Look at that. Wonky comb on a frame of comb. On a frame of wax. And they've done wonky comb. Why don't bees read the books? Hmm? Oh, just a frame of nectar, capped honey. Speed up a bit now. I can see this one is the same. Honey, honey, honey. Nectar. Good, same again, nectar. This one is black frame. Oh, come on now. You love sticking them to the side. Come on. So we just need to go down and clean sides. full frame of beautiful full frame of brood, capped brood, wonky comb. Oh. So each of these they could easily turn into a queen cell. So this is why I left it at the edge. I probably need to get rid of this one. Underneath here, you could find they can easily make a queen cell, and you wouldn't see it, I wouldn't see it, and they would swarm, even though this beautiful frame here. So I'm going to leave this to the side. I'm going to move all the frames across, put the black one on this side again, and hopefully if they empty it by next week, when these emerge, I'll take the frame out and replace it with a new wooden frame or a red one, whichever one I got, because this wonky cone is source of a nightmare. Good. So move everything across. Can't do it too quickly. This one. Wish I'd better. Did not see that. Look at that. Did not see that first time round. Did you? Did. Give me a comment. Did see that. This side looks better. Whenever you see them sort of gathering around, it doesn't mean that they're protecting a queen cell. It might be that they're just keeping the brood warm. I think this is a nicer side, so I'll turn it going this way and leave the wonky comb to the outside. Good. So here is queen excluder. Okay, sorry, I just lost you with the battery. So because this is a nuke growing into a full-size hive, I always like to put the first super on with already drawn comb. So this is ready to go. They will clean it and then start filling it with nectar. And I hope that that nectar that's down there will be moved up to the top box. And then the next box that I add can be undrawn comb. And that's because this is a nuke growing into a hive. I don't expect it to produce a ton of honey. Last year was amazing. Is it possible Lawrence's bees can produce seven or eight supers of honey on a brand new queen? I don't know, but just in case, I'm going to give them a frame, undrawn frame. So these would be plastic frames with my own wax coated. It's very thick. Left them in the car overnight, so they're very warm, and they smell very nice, and they should be attracted to them. If the flow stays, then they'll draw that no problem. I like to leave a bit of space to the side here, and then what I do is, as they start to build the frames thicker, the cells thicker, I just add a bit of space in between each one, and that they draw that out even further until you get some really nice thick frames. But to start with, you have to put them together like that, otherwise they'll just propolize in between and it'll become a bit of a nightmare. Let's take a look at another hive if there's anything interesting, and we'll swing back. I'm just going to put the roof on, keep going. So this hive is completely rammed. 2 supers are absolutely full to the brim. It's full of bees, and if there are no swarm cells in here, I don't know how lucky I am if that is the case. So what we do is we go in, just crack both sides, forward, nice and gently, tip it back. This is a hive that I will be giving it a brand new floor. These ones were the first ones I got. They're not as wide along the edges here as I like them to be. Right, so they're starting to build some comb here. It's just comb. And here, don't worry, I picked those up, but I can't see any swarm cells on the bottom. Which is a good sign. So let's put it back, tip it forward. Because there are so many bees, I will have to be very, very, very gentle. So what you do is you put it on the side, and then you just slowly forward and back. Oh, great. It's going to be one of those days. Now, believe it or not, this hive was one of my most gentle hives last year. But this year I can see that they're black, really, really dark. That's an indicator that they've the local kind of bee. Really good for honey. As you can see, those 2 boxes there are full to the brim. there isn't actually any space in any of those two supers, so I'm hoping that we've caught it just in time. But it also encourages me that they'll be producing quite a lot of honey. And it's only the first days of May. So it's got a whole month before the nectar slows down. So if there's a flow on here, they can fill one super per week. How long can the nectar last? Who knows? So again, I'm trying to move the black frames to the outside, creating wonky comb, etc. You have to be super gentle. This frame isn't actually too bad. I can see nectar, I can see here, just at the top here, I see larvae. No eggs yet, although many beekeepers love it when they see eggs on the first rung. Takes away our anxiety of a queen that's swarmed. So I can see eggs. Is that eggs? Yes, eggs. Very small eggs. Again, very nice frame. I like to see where the queen lays in the middle, and I'd like to see honey around the edges. Around the top looks like she's actually laid here as well in the top. But see if pollen and nectar or capped honey is around the brood nest in the middle, it means they can just quickly feed those eggs and those larvae. They don't have to move too far for the food source. Right. So let's move this to the side. If I'd cut the grass, I'd actually quite like leaving the frame on the grass around the outside, but because the grass is quite long, this hive needs a new box. This brood box needs to be changed this year. I think I said that last week. Haven't done it yet, but we will record that. It's good to do that. Nice clean hive. So there's a frame of stores, capped honey. It looks like old honey. And I'm seeing eggs, and I'm seeing charge. Is that charged? No, not charged. So they make these clay cups or queen cups just for practice. I can see there's a whole frame of eggs and larvae nectar around the outside. course a lot of the flying bees are coming back and they want to transfer the nectar they've been collecting to the bees at the entrance, which is why they're clustering at the entrance here. Firstly, they don't know what's happening. Secondly, the hive is usually about this tall, and now it's only this tall because I'm doing my inspection. So I need to be in and out as quick as I can, but without rushing. So it's a frame of stores. Looks like it's all nectar at this time. See, all nectar. There's some eggs in this corner. In fact, this whole corner here is stores and eggs. Same on the side. Eggs, eggs, eggs. Lots of pollen. I really do prefer the 14 by 12 frame size to the British Standard National, which I think is a little bit too small if you want lots of honey. And lots of beekeepers will do what's called brood and a half, which is a super on top of a standard national hive brood body. But that means you, instead of inspecting just say 10 or 11 frames, you've got to inspect 20 to find the queen. So that's why I like these. And I think they're just about, they're just a bit bigger than a Langstroth. Which actually I really like the shape of the Langstroth frame. It's kind of longer, I think. It's a bit longer and a bit not as deep. So girls, we have the frame, please. Gosh. Beautiful frame of brood. You see, I can't quite show you because I have to take two hands. But if you draw an oval shape in the middle of this frame, that's the brood nest. Around the top you've got nectar, stores, and at the bottom you've got some drone. And sometimes you get a faker. So this, they're all over it. You think, oh, it might be a queen cell. It's not. It's just a faker. Let's take a look at this side. Same again on this side. Look, beautiful, beautiful pattern. So the semicircle in the middle, the oval shape in the middle is the brood, capped brood nest, and you can see stores and larvae around that. Beautiful. That's good genetics. Faked fin cups in it. As a beekeeper, if the bees go around your head, you end up dreaming of bees buzzing around your head. Just keep you awake at night, to be honest. But they're not trying to sting you. In and out as quickly as you can doesn't mean you rush, it just means you be as quick as you can. Come on. Come on. They can tell when you're rushing, by the way. They have an incredible sense of smell, so they can hear you breathing. That frame is full of brood. This is an amazing queen. Come on, get off my fingers. Once again, wall to wall. She could be on the sides too, as well as on the bottom. So this one should be a yellow queen, born last year, 2024. I have good notes on all of my hives, so I don't need to colour the queens to the year that she was born. That just means you have to buy lots of pens with different colours. I don't sell my bees. So the only benefit I have of using colours is if you were selling. Selling your bees, which I don't. And then I make notes about every one before I leave the apiary. Eggs galore. This hive will, during the, when I remove the supers, I will be removing these three here and replacing them with fresh comb checkerboard. So it'll be old frame, new frame, old frame, new frame, old frame, new frame. One thing I did notice is the bees don't stand around too much on the sides of these plastic frames like the wooden ones. So this is all stored nectar. I can see they've pulled the frame really nicely. This was added just last week. That smoker doesn't really smoke too good. It's okay. brood wall to wall. No wonky comb on this side. Good brood pattern on this side. If you spot the queen, put a comment. Come on now. It's a really nice frame. Actually, what I'm going to do, one thing I noticed with the black frames is they do put a lot of wax at the side of the hive body on the inside. I'm just going to knock that down. They're very busy and they don't want me in their hive, and I don't. I just need to get through the last few frames. See, there's lots of bees at the entrance there. I think they want to come in and get the nectar. Into the hive as soon as possible. The last two frames actually I can see look like just capped stores, but I'll take a look at the last couple nice and quickly. I can see larvae in many stages on this one. Being beautiful drawn, no wonky comb. A little bit wonky in that corner. Can you see the queen? There she is, just there. Very dark. She's got a little yellow dot on the back. It's been partly cleaned, and that means that she's also had a bit of the queen, of her wing clipped. Beautiful queen. Look how big she is. As long as you don't mind the bees flying up at your head, they will always produce the most honey. Last two. And that's only because I see some brood. Okay, perfect. Oops. Just like capped honey. So that's stores for them. Right. What are we going to do now? Well, I need to put the frame back, but I don't want to leave the frame at this edge. I've got to get it all the way back over to here. So, we're going to put it at that edge. So we just pull it across nice and gently. Pull it across nice and gently. And that should just leave enough room. If you use this edge of the tool, pull it back as well. So it doesn't hurt them. Let's take one more look at this side. Which side's better? Both the same actually. So we put that in there. So what I'll do is I'll just knock these off. There's nothing worse than rolling bees. So you knock this off. One jolt down or two jolts down. And stay still. Then you move. And then you can put that in there without actually rolling or hurting any bees. Good. So you put one corner down, slide it across nice and gently, and then you just wiggle it left and right. Lets all the bees move. See, that's totally full. 6, 7, 8, 9 manly frames, all full, capped. Same again, down in one corner, and then just move side to side, gently dropping it down. One trick actually that you can do to know if your hives are upset or angry, they fly next to your face. But then if you walk away, if they follow you, they're angry. If they don't follow you, they're just protective. And the bees haven't actually followed me to this side of the camera. But if I go back, I bet they will. So they're just protective. Okay, and so you just bring it down, slide it across. These frames are starting to get filled. Sorry, these ones are brand new frames, but they have They have previously been drawn. And then what I'm going to do is give them one more. And these are undrawn. Roof back on. Yellow dot. And that's it.